Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of In Medicare News. Today is December 20th, 2019, and today's article is actually from a Medicare pricing system that we use. It's an accounting firm, an actuarial system. It's called CSG. They're out of Omaha, Nebraska. This is a public report that they issued, so I don't mind saying it, and I'll link to the full report in it. It's not that long, but I did want to discuss its ramifications. It's higher Medicare supplement rate increases in 2019. And all it says is new business rate increases implemented on Medicare supplement blocks of business were higher in 2019. Historical average rate increases by year since 2011 are shown below. The 2019 average increase of 5% was 1 point higher than the 2018 average and the highest since 2013. Then it goes on to give a table of average rate increases. And I want to explain, what average means in a second, also what goes into account for the rate increase. But first, let me give you these numbers. So 2011, the average rate increase was 8.4%. 2012, 7%. 2013, 5%. Notice those numbers are going down. 2014, 4.2%. 2015 is the low at 2.8%. I remember that year. 2016 was 3.8%. It's starting to go up. 2017 was 3.7%. 2018 was 4%. And then this year, 2019, is 5%. So it did go up a little bit. Now, there's a couple things you need to know about rate increases on Medicare supplements. These are averages, and average means for this what an average means for every other company, for every other thing you've ever dealt with, which means average takes everything from the highest multi-point percentages to the lowest that may not go up, to some that may even have a decrease each year. So average does not mean that your supplement is going to go up by, or went up this year by 4%, by 5%. You could have seen something that was 8%. You could have seen something that didn't go up at all. That's just how it works. This is the average, but it does point to a trend that supplement prices are going up. What those prices don't include, though, are age increases for most supplements, which are attained age Medicare supplements. And it also doesn't include if your price was being held down for a year because for one reason or another, such as you were new to it. And it also doesn't take into account your state, county, or zip code's price increase. Sometimes supplements go up based on location, not unilaterally for the whole state. And that also takes into account all Medicare supplement plan letters, not just yours. So some plan letters go up at a higher percentage than others some years, and that varies from, plan year to plan year. So that really just kind of tells us that the average price trend of a Medicare supplement was going up. Now, that doesn't mean that you should suddenly panic and look to change Medicare supplements or run to a Medicare Advantage plan. What this does mean is that if you do see a rate increase on your Medicare supplement, and it does seem that it's a little bit higher than normal, it's a good idea to stop and think, okay, did yours go up like many of the other Medicare supplements, or is yours a little bit higher? I know in our office, we generally will only call you on a price increase if we think that that company is going to be taking a higher price increase than it probably should have. If you call us, we will be happy to go over the different Medicare supplements with you and the different prices for Medicare supplements. A lot of times those calls turn into, well, it's not worth it for me to try to make the move to switch though. And the reason for that is because a lot of the supplements, and remember, our business is being a broker, so I mean we try to have as many Medicare supplements as we can possibly get. Our business is to try to get every Medicare supplement that is possibly available to us on good terms and we feel will not screw our clients over. So we're going to try to give you the quotes for the lowest price of a Medicare supplement. And if there's one that's lower that we don't offer, but we think that it's going to be, we'll give you the reason why we don't offer it. We may not just get it yet because some companies are brand new. But at the same time, we're going to tell you, and you may find that those prices aren't that bad. And the reason is the overwhelming trend is generally if you're going to be in a company with average prices, if they stay at an average price, at least in this area, then a lot of the other companies are going to be around that same price. There is kind of a sweet spot for Medicare supplements, and a lot of the companies kind of come in right about that same price within a couple of dollars for your age. That doesn't mean that there's going to be other companies that aren't going to undercut, because there are going to be other companies that are going to undercut those prices. But still, there's plenty of things, there's plenty of companies that are going to be around the Medicare supplement price that you are. This is just showing that, yeah, prices are going to be going up this next year. It's unfortunate, but it's going to be happening. CSG's business is to get all of this information from every company and analyze it. So I trust when these guys actually tell us that the rate increase this past year was up a little bit compared to the previous year. It's pretty accurate that most of the companies did see an increase. Now that's even in comparison, even taking into account the fact there's so many new companies coming into play in the market right now, and that's kind of another issue. That's a troubling issue. But there are companies coming in undercutting the established ones out there. But my point is, these prices are going up. Don't panic and try to change your Medicare supplement. Just because you had a little bit of an increase, it could be keeping with the average rate of other companies. You also don't want to necessarily make a jump to Medicare Advantage. I know Medicare Advantage likes to advertise they have these other things that Medicare doesn't have. But what you save in premium, you're going to start spending in co-pays and potentially some issues in terms of doctor networks. You do have co-pays. You generally don't have them on Medicare supplements. There's a couple things you got to pay, but you generally don't have other things that Medicare Advantage plan members do have to pay as a result. So you may not necessarily be saving money in the long run by moving to a Medicare Advantage plan. This is just a little bit of a warning so that you know. There's one other thing that they put down in this article. They gave us some historical Medicare supplement average new rate increases, and I just want to discuss, they gave us plans F, G, and N, and I'm not going to go over the whole list, but just in the last 2 years, between 2018 and 2019, if you had a plan F, as in Frank, the Medicare supplement rate increase in 2018 was 5.1%. In 2019, it was 6.2%. If you have a plan G, the average increase in 2018 was 3.9%. The average increase in 2019 was 4.7%. And then if you had a plan N, as in Nancy, the average increase in 2018 was 2.8%. The average increase was in 2019 was 4.1%. So the highest bump for people on average in the past year or so would have been people that had the plan N, with G coming in at second place and the plan F coming in at the the highest amount of increase, but the lowest percentage of it. And the reason why F goes up a little bit higher than G has to do with the rules for who can get into F plans across the country. That may be changing this next year, because in 2020 some things are happening where those rules are shifting to the G plan. That doesn't mean the G plan people ought to panic just yet. But the N plan is going to start, looks like it is going to start coming up and having increases across the board about the same as the other Medicare supplements. That had been a rate saver plan. It had also been making you pay more in the past few years. So anyway, hope that helps. Gives you some information about Medicare supplements. No news yet about 2020. We're expecting the increases to be about the same, maybe a little bit more in 2020 than they were in 2019. Still not anything to panic about. There's always a way to reduce the price on a Medicare supplement. There's Medicare Advantage, which, like I said, isn't necessarily a rate reduction, but if the price of the supplement really does bother you, there is Medicare Advantage, although that can bother you in a whole other set of different circumstances. Any questions, give us a call, shout out, give us a shout out by email, Facebook, YouTube, comments. We're available any way you want, and have a good holiday. Hope to see you next year.